Right, I had to say something. It is December 5th, 5:31 Central Time. What I want to say is we about to review this book, right?
Right.
Please, when we be successful, don't let no money go. Let no money come between us.
Hey, Playboy, run this shit, ho.
It's the new thing. Welcome to the
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck Outta Here.
Fuck out of here.
This is Audible.
Penguin Random House Audio presents Will.
We're doing a book review on
Right. Will Smith
Yeah.
with Mark Manson. This is the author, y'all. Will Smith.
All right. Today we're gonna do a book review on the book Will, which when I say is my probably third book I ever listened to and read in my life. First book, second book was Hardy Boys in Self-Defense.
Get up.
Third book I ever read is called Will by author Will Smith.
Your volume low, nigga.
I think I'm loud as hell. You can't hear me?
Move. Move.
What about now?
Blaine like way louder than you.
I'm still low. I'm still low.
Slow.
Oh, and they wanted to play that part. They took his sound. He can't hear you at all now. Can't even hear you. Sound like you on
Shit
mute.
off the mute. Fuck.
It's not on mute.
It's not on mute.
There you go.
I heard you just now.
Oh, y'all can hear me now?
Go up a
Yeah.
little bit more.
You good? You good?
That's what I'm saying. Y'all can hear me?
You good? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, you good. You good. You good.
Alright.
You good. Nigga, chicken. Oh, chicken good.
All right, man. Y'all can hear me? Y'all
Yeah,
good
nigga.
now? Man, stop being so mean, bro.
This is a
Hey.
book club review.
Hey,
This is not
hey.
the FOH podcast.
Calm down,
Hey,
man.
Hey, babe. Bring this back to me. Bring this on Riverside.
All right, y'all. We're gonna start off with I'm gonna start off with chapter 1. I'm not gonna start off with the wall, even though the wall was basically his dad basically told him, from what I got of it, it's like don't let nobody tell me you can't do shit. Ain't nothing is impossible. Because he thought he could never finish that brick wall and he finished it. So I really didn't, read the chapter again or that section, because to me that was more like an intro. So I'm gonna start with chapter 1, fear. And chapter 1, fear, was about him basically being a coward with his dad and not being there for his mom. And he's the oldest out of 3, but he has older sisters, but that's not his real sisters. Well, this is real sister, but it's not, in the immediate family. So what I got out of this part, fear, is that Will Smith was a coward, but all that cowardness turned into success because he fueled all that to make an amazing career for himself. So what I got out of it, chapter 1, is that no matter what somebody puts in your path, or you may think you should have did this or should have did that, everything happened for a reason. And whatever you go through is a life experience, because if you wouldn't have went through it, you wouldn't be where you at. So that's what I got out of it. How y'all feel about that?
Well, for me, Will Smith is one of my favorite actors of all time. So, of course, I before I even got the book, I read, or I watched interviews. I would see, I actually just got through watching The Fresh Prince for the second go around on HBO Max. So I did my research over Will Smith and his career and whatnot, and then he was speak in interviews, or he mostly has done it within recent years, talking about basically his upbringing and whatnot. And I thought, also another reason why I like Will Smith is because I can relate to him. You know, my parents never were abusive or anything like that, but I realized coming from childhood, you know, I was never the most liked. So I could understand in a sense where he was coming from, as, you know, he would just make his dad happy, make people comfortable, was to make people laugh. And, you know, that's always been my biggest thing. You know, even to this day, in a sense, you know, I feel like I want people to like me. So, you know, in a sense, you know, I want to make people laugh. I want to be throwing jokes left and right to make sure that they feel comfortable so they won't, you know, have any backlash to feel. So, you know, I totally like the first chapter because it's basically, like you said, is what made him who he is today. And I like that.
Right.
That nigga a hoe, huh?
Will Smith a hoe?
He look at like nah, man. No, man. It's at the end of the day, what you gonna do? You're not gonna beat your daddy anyway. You're not gonna fight your daddy. So, because that's the same thing. I went through that. Like, I didn't see. I know physical wise. I know my little sister and my little sister, daddy, and my mama. Like, they had some physical, how you say it, you know,
altercation.
Yeah, but I never seen it. I just know that it was a situation, but it was never like, what I'm gonna do? This nigga like 6'6", this nigga beat the shit out of me. I'm like, so, you know, but at the end of the day, it's like, what you gonna do?
You can't do shit really, because I look at it like, man, that's their problem. But from what he said that happened on that November night upstairs, not more than 10 feet away from my mama, she collapsed on the ground, and I did nothing. Little brother intervened. He got the raft of what the mama got also. I did nothing. So I'm like, damn, bro, you really a hoe. like my nigga, I'm not gonna sit there and let nobody fuck up my mama at all. I don't give a fuck.
And you know, at the end of the day, I don't, like, you know, he want to protect his mama and shit like that. He wants to stand up, but at the end of the day, it's like, that's not no stepdaddy. That's his daddy. Like, he knew that his daddy would beat the fuck out of him. He could have think of other ways to pick up something.
Wouldn't that make you feel some type of way? You, not just for example, you and your mom and Alvin fussing, and you just looking, and AJ come fight Alvin. Like nigga, fuck this shit, nigga. And you just doing this.
Yeah, and
you see him get the ass whipped, but you just doing this.
Yeah, I'm a hoe for that, for not even standing up. Why his own son stepping up and I can't even
fight. Yeah, you just looking. But you like,
man, yo, you can't say that because, man, John Limbo's gospel was in the same situation where they was beating his mom and Poochie couldn't move. He was like, I can't move, John. I can't move. I can't move.
John Leguizamo intervened, and he was John Leguizamo came with the knife. He was like, you motherfucker, yeah. So that's two different situations. But
I'm gonna tell you this. I really ain't tell nobody this, but I got my little sister daddy back though from like years after. Nigga, he did what he did, and so one day, like, this is when they got back together, right? So it's like fuck. Hold on, chill, man. I'm trying to. It was like a Friday, like for school, and it was like usually nobody be there, so I just get up and watch cartoons, whatever, and all of that shit, and get dressed, catch the bus. So I looked outside, I didn't see the car, so I'm like, oh shit, nobody here. So what I did is I didn't mean to do it, but I did it. I put the light on in the room, in their room. I put the light on, and I seen him in the bed. I turned it off, and later that day, that nigga, he told my mom, he's like, I don't know who in this house, but somebody was in this house. They flicked the light on, and that nigga like started going to church and all of that because he thought that was somebody, the devil or some shit. And I never said nothing. That tell his day this nigga don't know. He don't know who flicked the light on. He just thought I was sleeping because I went back in the bed like it was nothing. And I don't know what you're talking about.
He started going to church.
That nigga started going to church because he never went. He never did go to church and none of that. So like after that happened, that nigga started going to church and everything.
That nigga
Nigga,
thought he
you
had
did-
demons in his house and you was
Yeah.
damn time.
And I was like, when I got a little older, I was like, I'm glad I fucking did that, you bitch ass nigga.
So yeah. That's what yeah. Chapter 1, Fear, it was 37 minutes long. Well, listening purposes wise, it's 37 minutes long. And Will Smith just basically described himself as a coward and saying that he should have did more. But all that, look at him now.
That's respect though. At the end of the day, I respect him for even saying that because a lot of dudes not even call himself a coward. They were just like,
And I never said I don't look at him as a coward. I just look at him as not doing the right thing at the right time. That don't make you a coward. That just makes you weak in a way. It's like, because you're the oldest. And like your little brother, harder than you, like you said, they were slapping his little brother. And it's like, I'm not going to cry. Like, I'm not going to cry. Pop. I'm not going to cry. Like, pop. You stop still ain't crying. Like, pop, 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 pop. I still ain't crying. Like, that's hard. Like, that's hard. That's like something internal. And like Will Smith didn't like want none of that. Just like what else his daddy said? His daddy said only two people can be in charge. Only one person can be in charge. If two people in charge, everybody dies.
Yep.
Everybody
yeah.
dies. So if like,
And I thought it was kind of funny too, because in later chapters, he kept on talking about how Harry always would go back and forth and talk back to his dad and didn't give a fuck. And I thought that was funny. It's like, like that story that you just said about, that doesn't hurt me. And then like his dad keeps on punching him, and then eventually his dad quit because he knew that he couldn't break him.
exactly.
That was dope.
could break Harry, but like Will didn't want to have nothing to do with his daddy. He just felt if he made everybody laugh and everybody was happy because he was the oldest, then everything would be good. Like as long as he was making his daddy pop laugh, Daddy-O, I was making Daddy-O laugh and making my mom with the school shit, like everything would be just so fucking simple. He's like, it's not that fucking hard. He's like, I just gotta make everybody laugh, but it didn't work like that because it's the real world. So,
but just like you said, shit, it worked out.
Yeah,
like him saying being like it worked out way better for him.
Yep, that's how Will Smith became Will Smith. So that was chapter 1. That was my insight on that. Now chapter 2 was fantasy. Everybody know? Well, if y'all ready,
man. Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was about to say inferior is the same shit with the imaginary.
Nah, fantasy. Second chapter, Magicer. His imaginary friend named Magicer. So fantasy is something that Will created in his head, basically thinking that he can make anything, whatever was in his mind was really happening. He thought about it so much that he believed it more than reality. But when you live in a fantasy world, reality has a way of biting you in the ass. So if you believe in something so much, eventually the universe is going to show you that, hey, nigga, this ain't real. This is what you really going through. As like he believed that his outfit was so fly coming out in that motorbike looking shit.
Fucking cowboy boots.
Talking about, what's up, suckers? Nod the head, ride the bike, walk away. Like, what the fuck is that?
Trash ass bike.
And what his friend said, does it happen when you go to white school?
Yep.
They say, you think you in a biker gang? Yes.
Hey, so that when you go to white schools, but he didn't care because in his mind, he thought that was cool. And that's what prepared him for like being an actor and shit. But when reality bit him in the ass, when he tried to go for that dunk in some cowboy boots, he said that's what reality like bit him in the ass because he thought he really could dunk. He was like, oh shit, Dr. J. He said, bomb, hung himself, blacked out, blood on his head, one cowboy boot off, and they had to go to the hospital. So that's when he said, there's nothing wrong with that, but he said, the universe just gonna show you. He said, spoiler alert. He said, spoiler alert. He was like, if you think your marriage is gonna work out, it's gonna be the perfect thing ever, it's not. He said, if you think you can just go ahead and like dunk with cowboy boots, it's not. If you think you can just go to an audition and beat everybody over there, it's not. He's like, so just your fantasy and what you believe in, ain't nothing wrong with that. But like you said, the universe is gonna show you that, shit can really bite you in the ass. So And then he had a friend named Magicer. Magicer was Chucky, according to Blaine.
Tripping.
Magicer had some overalls with some red shoes. Magicer was Chucky. So in this chapter, he still was like, him and Magicer he really believed Magicer and him really existed. So his mama would put out a plate for Magicer. His mama would talk to Magicer. When him and his mama weren't having a good time, he would talk to Magicer. He's the only thing him and Magicer agreed on was not going to sleep at night. But there's a time when the little girl situation, when they had a known pedophile or sex offender in the neighborhood, and the sex offender got the little girl to go to the house, and he didn't tell nobody nothing. He just went upstairs and started crying. And his Magicer was like, man, you need to go tell somebody. And tell somebody. He's like, no, I'm not. He's like, Will, you need to go tell somebody right now. Anything can happen to this girl. He's like, no, I'm not. And he said when he opened his eyes, Magicer was gone. But what I got out of it, that's like, nigga, you open your eyes and Magicer was gone. Magicer was never there. How the fuck you open your eyes and Magicer was gone? He was never there, nigga. What the fuck wrong with you, Will?
Hey, he didn't say Magic was going. You said that the last time I seen Magic. He ain't say
he opened it. No, I read it last night. He said I opened his eyes. He said I looked. Magic was gone. And I'm like, how the fuck Magic was gone? He never was there. He was only there when you was thinking about him. But Magic was gone after that situation. So Magic even though Will was coward. So they didn't thought that like he had his head like Will just really believe in fantasy. So I thought all that was like really, 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 really interesting. So what you got out of that chapter, Phil?
Of course, as kids, you have your own fantasy land. Shit. I used to. I'm not even gonna lie. Before I did sports back in the day, I used to think I was Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? It was like this own little world. So, I was flying around my room. I remember it got so bad, like when I was 8, 9 years old, I was playing basketball and I was like flinging webs while I was playing basketball, thinking like I would catch the ball with my webs and stuff like that. I would play Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man trilogy, and I would act out like I got bit by a spider. I fight Dr. Ock, whatever. So, that type of reality or that fantasy that you live in, like you said, it can put you on your ass because, like people, you can either get hurt or people gonna think you're weird as fuck. Like, like stuff like that just straight up happens. But, as a kid, it's natural to have that fantasy land. Especially when life isn't so great on the outside and the inside, that's kind of like your happy place.
Right.
And fuck all that, man. As a parent, that nigga mama tripping. Nigga, I'm not putting no extra ass plates on the motherfucking table for an imaginary person. Get the fuck on. That nigga better eat half of what you got, motherfucker. Fuck out of here. Hey, you could have just tell, like, when he said that, it was like, you could tell his daddy had his own business because I never heard no fucking family say, oh yes, I'm gonna put a plate on for your imaginary friend.
For Magic. No. When I read the book again, when I listened to that, I was like, yeah, that nigga daddy did have money because like people
big
thought
money.
That nigga has some real fucking money. I was like, damn, like he's like that was good for black people back in the day. I was like, oh, you really had like them richer people who like richer than you. And you go to school and like they got everything, but at home they fucked up like bad. That was his life.
Man, it looked like it, but how he made it sound like his daddy was like never was like that flossy like he made it look like he never had money, but he had money.
That nigga worked all the time. It's like he worked all the time. He said he worked for decades, and the only time he took off was when they had that.
And when they went on the little
reunion. Yeah, that nigga stayed working. So it's like that nigga did not work. And like when he says came home one night and dropped them thousands of dollars on the bed, he said, count that. And he left.
He already had he had his own shop already, and then when he started doing the ice shit, that was another company. I'm like, this nigga like, come on, man.
They said that nigga he started getting like them kerosene heaters from the people to fix. and he turned off the gas in the house because money was tight, and he said he was getting paid. And all the kerosene heaters, and they had like when it was winter time, he used all the kerosene heaters for free.
Bro, I thought that was funny. That's some OG shit. That was some OG shit. Like I told my friend that I was reading it. I was like, this man's an OG. He literally is like, yeah, I'm gonna use it. I'll get back to you. And he basically used it, during the winter time, and then he just gives it back after. Like that's some like smart OG shit.
For real, bro. Like that man was a go-getter, like for real. So I see what Will like even though he kept saying he's like, I hated my daddy, but I loved him. Like he had something bad to say about his dad, then he had something good to say about his daddy.
If he was made him a hustler, like he seen his daddy how he was, and like that's how he started. Like I'm a hustler, just hustle like my daddy.
Hell yeah, like a nigga that night. That was some crazy ass dude. I ain't gonna say his daddy was crazy. His daddy just seemed like a one of them military minded. Everything got to be done right. Make sure it's straight, clean. Listen to me, do what I tell you to do. Ain't none of that bullshit. So
that nigga daddy remind me of a chick that I used to talk to her daddy. And he was just like that, smoke, drink, and nobody could tell him shit. He just bring the money home, have my food cooked. Whenever a man walk in his house, make sure he respect me and take off his hat. Man, fuck you, man. Nigga, I ain't got no haircut. Nigga, that's why I'm wearing a hat, nigga.
Stupid ass nigga. So that was fantasy, huh? Yeah, that was fantasy. Now, chapter 3 was performance. Now, me personally, I didn't really care for this chapter, but it made sense because it was about his grandmother and saying how God is more important than, everything. He's like his daddy, showed him structure of how to work things. His mama taught him about education. And Gigi taught him about the love and the respect of God. So, not saying the chapter wouldn't.
Not just God too, because she always told him. Always, how she said it? Always smile with the people going up.
Oh yeah, because you don't know who you're gonna be. She said that. She said that on the next chapter. She said on the next chapter.
I feel like that was all in the same shit because she was just teaching.
Yeah, because in that chapter she said, Will, when she was bathing that old lady and stuff in the house.
Oh yeah, that's on this chapter.
Yeah, but she did tell him that she said always.
That's when he was going on the tour bus. She said, remember, lover boy.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Will. Let me talk. I'm telling you what she said when she was cleaning them people. When she was cleaning the people, she was like, you have to be kind and nice to everybody. Because if you don't, they're going to rip your ass.
She said that, nigga.
Yeah, that was the explicit version.
That nigga stupid. Well, you got Phil looking like, I never read that.
No. You talking about is the part when that dude in high school basically like hit him with the thing because he was talking about his girl. And he came on.
No, we're not talking about that.
No, okay.
This is the chapter though. This is the chapter. We're talking about this chapter, but we're not talking about that just now. But that did happen in the chapter. But in this chapter, that's when he he started going to church and like he had sung that his grandmother made him kept going to that play and kept saying, I forgot how the song goes, Luli, my dear Luli. What the fucking stupid ass song was. He sung that whole audio book. That's this chapter. He like his grandmother had took somebody in and she like a stinky, dirty old lady. We was like, don't touch that lady, Gigi. He was like, oh no, baby. He said, I look at all God's children like I'm just here to serve and love and help. Like, that's all I'm here to do. She said, that's why she always smiling. He's like, why you always smiling, Gigi? He was like, baby, you need to shut the fuck up and listen to the word of the Lord.
Hey, that's so crazy because you really like he did that shit. Like he changed his voice and made him sound like his Gigi. That's why the audio book's so cool. Like, it's good.
Yeah, man. It but this basically summary of this chapter is about the dude knocking him out this shit, which I thought was. I don't think he deserved to get knocked.
I'm sorry.
I don't think he deserved to get knocked out by the dude.
Man, nigga, why not? Nigga, we tall as look. Come on, nigga.
All right,
you went to Caracrow Middle, nigga. You know.
Hey, listen. The nigga probably ain't had no girlfriend. He just felt the type of way because all the girls was laughing at him. So he was like, all right.
That's exactly what he did.
Like that nigga out.
Just like you said, you went to character middle, you know.
And his grandmother told him, she said, if you didn't talk so much, you probably learn to listen. What she said? Something. If you didn't talk so much, you probably would. What she said? If you didn't
Something
talk
like that.
didn't talk so much, you probably would learn to listen. But all in all, in this the performance is busy. He learned to play the piano. Spoiler alert! If y'all didn't listen to it, y'all know he was really playing the piano in that first episode.
He said it, nigga. We read the book. Mozart, instead of you supposed to just zoom in on him, but instead of that, he started playing Mozart. We read the book, man. Spoiler alert. We read the book.
I'm just saying, maybe
I said, you already said spoiler alert. Phil know we getting himself into.
Hey, but look, one thing I also liked too in the chapter was when he talked about the racial dynamic. I thought that was cool. Like, no matter how much he was a rapper, he was safe for the white crowd, the black crowd still consider him not hip enough or not, not black enough. He would be up to date in like the latest fashion, and the white people still consider him a nigga, and the black people, I like that racial dynamic because it felt like no matter how good he was in the early days, he still just couldn't make it's the classic. Like, have y'all seen that movie The Hate You Give? Nah, the book, the book too. Like The Hate You Give, it came out like a couple years ago. It's about like police brutality and whatnot. But she was.
Yeah. I see
Yeah.
New Edition. Yeah, what about from New Edition? Yeah.
Yeah, the dude from New Edition, Algie Smith. Yeah. I think in the movie, basically she's going to a white school and she's in a black neighborhood and she's trying to be able to navigate basically life in a white school. So, basically, essentially she got to be white, act white. And then, in the neighborhood, it's black. And I thought that is a racial dynamic to this day that people still deal with. I thought that was kind of unique,
Yeah, because I feel that way about I grew up in school. They had somebody that acted kind of kooky, or like how we call it. If they articulate and smart, we say you acting white. And then and then they got to go back to their white friends, and you still a nigga to them, no matter how smart or whatever you got going on. So it's like you're not accepted by both worlds, and that's basically what he said. Like even his music career, he's like, "Oh, I ain't rapping that gangster shit." So I got criticized about that my whole career. So he was used to it because he dealt with that growing up. So that's kind of, like I said, that's kind of what made Will Smith, because everything he'd been through in his career, he already had been through. You're on mute, nigga. He already been through it.
It made him great, though. It made him great. Like, people talking about his music. All this shit charted, like, on a billboard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, Will, that's what's up. God damn.
All right, man. That was chapter 3, the performance. Now, chapter 4, power. Good ass chapter. Power was about basically, what was power about? Y'all remember?
Oh, power was about a man that named Goose.
I was about to say that shit.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Y'all can
Wait,
take
this
it.
is the one he gets his ass beat.
Shit. I don't remember the chat. I just know I don't remember like chapter to chapter and all of that shit. I just know whenever we talk about it, I know like what part you talking about. Yeah. That nigga breaking it down, like he doing a good job, but I don't know, like when you talk about a certain thing, I'll be like, oh yeah, I know, yeah, this and that.
I'm gonna send it to you.
But the nigga say, what power about? Power's about a man named Ghost James St. Patrick. Chill, mama.
Yeah. Just hit me back because I'm doing my podcast. I'm late, you up.
All right, I'm about to take it now.
All right.
Nigga, it's 6:05. Nigga still want a package? Need my package.
Chapter 4, Power. Paul was in trouble. he was getting into fights.
Oh, the cousin. Okay, yeah, the good shit.
Oh yeah, when the cousin came.
Y'all heard it.
Hey,
Yeah.
that nigga Paul Games. I don't want to see that nigga. That nigga old as fuck right now. I don't want to see that nigga.
When they got to the end of the chapter, bro, I thought that was hilarious, bro. I'm not going to speak through, but that shit was funny. When he
beat everybody up.
Yeah, when he beat up everybody, like Kung Fu Jack shit. Like, yeah, that was hilarious.
Yep. So basically, Paul was in trouble. We need help. Come quick. Craig's in trouble. Come quick. Paul was his cousin, you know what I'm saying? And the strength of power with that whole situation. Like, I don't remember. I'm trying to remember how the exact chapter was. Phil, you remember how the whole kind of...
Yeah. So this is the chapter when basically it's that summer where he's about to go into high school, and then Paul comes, helps him out. Paul was helping out his dad. There was a mutual respect between him and his dad. But he still had this kind of mentality, like, you ain't going to tell me and boss me around. Right. And then this is when Will learned like martial arts and stuff like that. And then this is the chapter that he got his ass whooped at school, I believe. Like, yeah, this is the one that he got his ass whooped because he went back and forth with that dude when he was acting like an asshole. He's like, look, it's okay. I arrived. Don't worry about it. And dude's like, I don't give a fuck who you are. And he said, oh yeah, by the end of the day, your girl gonna know about it. And then dude looked at him, and then like a couple minutes later, bow in the face.
Yeah, with that lock. Yep, knocked his
Yeah,
head.
it was a lock.
So that was that chapter. That was on Power. You said that?
Yeah, that was Power.
And then he became a great rapper.
But because I was afraid, it began to dawn on me that my overcompensation and fake bravado were really just another more insidious manifestation of the coward. My thoughts were swirling. My mind drifted to the time when Gigi found my first rap book.
Yeah,
there's a chapter.
Yep, there's a chapter. Yep, you're right. Good job, Phil. Good job, Phil. See, it's good to read sometimes. My brother reads. But yeah, in this chapter, you know, that's what it says when he got his ass knocked out by the lock and shit, and it showed the power of your mouth, the power of manifestation, and the power of learning karate and with an afro and knowing your strength. Because when you're strong like that, like somebody, I think I was talking to a dude who painted my shit. He was like, man, little niggas in the street, they always want to fight with you, and like you look at them stupid, they always want to boot up on you and shit. He said, I don't tell them little niggas nothing. He said, because I know what I'm capable of. I said, ooh, I like that. That's deep. Cause he ain't gonna fuck with nobody. Cause you like just like Paul knew he could fuck his daddy up. So he was like, look, 2 words.
What you say?
Scorch earth.
Real shit.
2 words, nigga. Scorch earth. Shit. So you don't fuck.
You know what? You can tell that was old time because I feel like whenever his cousin went to the store and beat them niggas up, ain't nobody had a gun. Because nowadays, if somebody do that, somebody getting shot.
Yeah, hey, that nigga Black, that old head, that nigga would smoke weed in the daytime.
Yeah, that shit was so funny. That nigga said, yeah, he smoked weed in the daytime. Nigga ain't no problem.
I was like, all right. Like, he made it sound so bad. He smoked weed.
Will think weed is so terrible the way he be talking.
And he like, I don't do drugs.
Yeah, like he making
it
seem like
quit. I want her to quit. I don't do that.
Hey, that man smoked weed in the daytime.
In front of the store.
My government. Well, she calls me Willard, I said, but you can call.
Oh yeah, he met old God too in this chapter.
Bruh, how would y'all feel? I don't know if that's the same chapter, but fuck that. How would y'all feel if y'all fucking a girl and your mama just like
That's this chapter?
I don't know if it's that chapter.
Oh Willard.
And just walk upstairs.
And his mom was like, I'm like, man, damn, you ain't had to make all that fucking noise. Like, shut the fuck up. Let me finish. Like,
she didn't make all that noise until she went upstairs.
Yep. He said, did she want to make all the... I thought I had to read it tight because the first time he said, oh, she want to make all the noise when she went upstairs. But I thought the girl who was fucking was making all the noise.
No.
The mama.
I was like,
yeah, because mama was stomping it and all of that shit.
Yeah, he's like, oh, now you want to be calling dog. I thought you were talking about hitting the government base. He's like, He's like, oh, now you want to be calling dogs. That's what I thought he was talking about. I was like, damn. So anyway, 3 days later, she had to go back to her mama house, and then
reconciled their differences. Then she went back. Done let her back in the house.
Slapping the lights off, stomping furiously up the stairs. The slamming of her bedroom door functioned as a disastrous exclamation. Ready Rock and I love to drive around West Philly.
His daddy never said nothing though, huh?
You didn't say nothing about his daddy saying nothing.
His
daddy knew.
His daddy knew, but I think just being a man, like,
because his daddy remember said, like, he said his daddy didn't want that. He was like, oh no, hell no, you know what they're gonna be doing. You know what they're be doing. He was like, Mom, I promise, Mom, no sex. No sex, Mom. No sex.
That nigga said 3 months. That nigga's like, fuck this. That vagina is marinated in his house.
Out of all things in the house, you want to fuck in the kitchen.
That's what he said.
Like, for real, I'm like, the kitchen, my nigga.
That's what he said. He's like, this is the dumbest thing. To this day, I don't know why I did that. He's like, this is the dumbest decision.
The bedroom, the basement, the living room. This nigga.
But talking about she was living in the basement. You could have just did that shit in the basement.
Yeah, but you want to go in the kitchen.
Hey. She probably was getting a drink. He was like, oh, you up?
Now they have that shit placed. Like, I'm telling you, mom and daddy-o gonna be sleeping. So around 4 a.m., just meet in the kitchen, like you're gonna get some water, and you just bend over on the counter.
But they was on the floor.
No, they was on the
floor.
Yeah, like a fucking dog.
Doggy style.
Like literally doggy style.
What do you say? He said something like sweet love making or something along those. He said exquisite love making or something like that.
Love making, yeah. Noise love making.
His voice.
Yep.
Come on, man. Y'all not even using that thing, I said.
Oh, yeah. And also in this chapter, when the motherfucking niggas didn't want to give him back that
radio?
Yeah, that radio shit. So I was like, I've been everybody, we all been in situations where we give me that back, man. They be like, nah. And like you just be burning up inside. I know Blaine did it. Got a story from my brother. He was playing video games.
I was just hungry.
That nigga wanted a hot pocket. A fucking hot pocket. So my brother like, I guess my brother Harry was getting to him. He was like, yeah, I know what he was saying. He's like, oh yeah. That nigga grabbed the Sega Genesis, threw it on the ground.
Damn, not the Sega.
That nigga grabbed the Sega. Oh, bro. Like, for a fucking hot pocket.
Nigga, a whole $100-something.
And they was making hot dogs that night.
Ah, damn, nigga.
I wanted a hot pocket. I was a fat kid.
$1.25 for a fucking hot pocket. If it was that serious, you could have went to the store and stole that shit.
I couldn't. They told us to stop stealing. They caught me in error.
Fucking hot pocket, man. But anyway, we go back to that situation. We all been through a situation like that. I felt well 100% on that, man, because you don't try to play me like that. Even though I'm the little young cat, you know, they could have gave me $200 back. That would have been fair. Could have let them buy it from. They're just being some stupid ass petty niggas. I hate niggas like that. Like, it's not for sale. All right, then just give my $200 back. Nope. That nigga said it so bluntly. Nope. He's like, all right. Nigga say you saw that 1,200, whatever the fuck that shit was. Bomb! I'd have caught his ass. I ain't gonna lie. I would have said, what the fuck you doing? As soon as you did get your bitch ass over here.
I'ma just say this.
You would have been shocked. You wouldn't have caught like you just chilling. And somebody just slammed something and you take off running, you wouldn't have.
I'ma say this. You can't catch a coward.
Yeah.
You can't catch a coward.
That nigga
said he was booking it too. He ain't look back and tell you. Like,
well, you say 8 blocks. He looked back in the house like, God damn.
Booking.
But then that's the same chapter with his cousin. That's when he found out.
Leave it alone. But Paul couldn't go.
That's when he found. I thought them dudes came do that to the car.
Yeah, I thought that was too.
That's what I thought.
Because it kind of transitioned like that.
Yeah, when he came back home, I was like, oh shit, they can't break it down the car, but it was the other nigga too.
That nigga said, I knew who it is. Nah, man, be cool. It's okay, pause. I know who it is.
Daddy said, fuck them niggas, man.
That's material shit.
Daddy said, fuck them niggas, man. He's like, nah, no. He
That
said,
nigga
man.
said that's the principle, nigga. Like, fuck that.
That nigga said Paul went up to Black, asked him nicely. He said, I gotta play this part. Please, Will. Please. I'm so sorry. Please. Don't sue us.
This video would never come out because it's copyright.
Apologizing to Daddy-O. Daddy-O was trying to calm him down. This shit happens, man. This is why we have insurance, Daddy-O said. But something about Paul's inner code made this unforgivable. He felt like the van was in his possession and he'd been entrusted with it. I had never seen him like this. Paul felt like he had somehow failed and dishonored Daddy-O. Daddy-O could see that thing rising up in Paul, the thing that led to him being in West.
He just beat for the Seahawks.
Hey, Paul, look at me, Daddy-O. 6'4" and always had his. You know how many times niggas done broke in and stole my shit? I know exactly who did it, Uncle Will, Paul said. Fuck them niggas, Paul, Daddy-O said. We got too much shit to do. Leave it alone. But Paul couldn't let it go. He was messing with a girl named Shelly who used to mess with this old head named Black. Black ran Winfield. He was always on the corner in front of Mr. Bryant's store with 7 or 8 of his friends. Black was about 6'4" and always had his shirt off. He didn't give a fuck. He would smoke weed outside in the daytime.
In the daytime.
Up into the middle of the crowd, right up to Black. Did you touch my uncle's van? Paul said. Everybody on the corner laughed. Yeah, I did it. What you gonna do about blue? Within a couple of seconds, Black's nose was broken, but he didn't know yet. He wouldn't find out until later when he regained consciousness. I'd never seen a fight like this except in the movies. Paul beat up everybody. Every dude on the corner, either bleeding, running away, or asleep. Paul didn't come home that night or the next.
Aaron didn't come on that night either.
Or his mouth. Or the mouth.
Man, that was chapter 4 power, man. This is probably about the dopest chapter, man. Chapter 5, hope. This chapter is basically about him contradicting himself about going to college. Then he ended up hearing his song. Then they disapprove everything what he was doing. That's when Eric, that's this chapter. That's like when he went him and Jazz.
That's when he met Jazz.
That's when he met Jazz for the first.
Yeah, I'm at the beginning of this chapter. I haven't gotten to the rest, but yeah.
You never got into it? Oh, spoiler alert.
Now everything's spoiled. I don't care. I love it. Go ahead.
Spoiler alert. Anyway, in this chapter, he met Jazz for the first time. A girl named Judy was having a party, and Jazz was like, not Jazz. I think Ready Rock. His name was Ready Rock. His homeboy was Ready Rock, huh?
Yeah, Ready Rock.
And they call him that, but he was something else.
Rock.
Huh?
That was Will homeboy Ready Rock.
That's what I said. Yeah, Ready
Yeah,
Rock.
from school. From school.
Yeah.
The guy
Jazz homeboy name was Ice.
Yeah,
so,
Ice, the one who didn't show up.
Yeah, so like he was like, yeah, man, Prince, man, Judy having his parties, man. I ain't messing with Judy no more, man. She found somebody else to do the party. He was like, yeah, man, she got Jazzy. He didn't say Jazzy Jeff. He said she got Jazz, man.
Jazz, yeah.
West side of Philly. He was like, man, he's like, he good, man. He got a rapper named Ice, man. He's like, he ain't doper than you, though. He said, I thought this was kind of gay when he said that. He was like, Ready Rock love gassing me up. He like when I talk dirty. I was like, gay.
It was a lot of parts that was gay when his dad was like when he was saying that about his cousin Paul. He's like, Daddy, you'll see it in Paul. It was getting hard. was like, yo, what the fuck?
That night.
Hey, yo, what the fuck, yo?
Oh my god. So yeah, man. That's when he went to the party, man. Nigga had a little, I guess the way he was describing his outfit, I was like, that's some shit I probably did back in the 90s. Like grab something and just put it on the chain and you had Fresh Prince on there. He went down.
That's what I
Fresh is like
we was talking
was
about. Hey, what's your name? Fresh just point to his head.
That nigga said Fresh.
That nigga said, what's your name? Prince.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fucking 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
But that was the shit though, airbrush and all of that shit. That was the shit.
A nigga said he had a two-tone Lee jacket and Lee jeans, black and gray. He took the Lee patch off the back, put it on his chain, had fresh
That nigga daddy had money.
Yeah, what I said, that nigga daddy had money. Just the whole time, I was like, damn, how you afford all this
For
shit?
real.
I was like, I forgot you people got money. So yeah,
Fresh.
Anyway, he gets to the party. He see Jazz for the first time. He explained Jazz like his medical condition and all that. He was like, "This is Jazz." He's like, he like more like a scientist more than a DJ. He's like, "Yo, man, what's up, man?" He's like, "All right, man, Prince." And he's like, you know, they're getting ready for the party. He asked Jazz what Ice was. He's like, "Good question. I've been calling him 5 times." He's like, back then, you couldn't get in contact with people, and Ready Rock wasn't showing up either. So old girl Judy was getting nervous. He's like, look, man, I'm gonna rock out what you tell my homeboy get here. He's like, all right, that's a bet, man. So they killed the whole performance and all that shit. And he was talking about the way I took it, the way we was talking about it, the conversation after the party. He was like, "Man, I like the way you did that." He's like, "Yeah, man, I like the way you had the transition of the belt line of the this, that, like all kind of scientific talk." I was like, "Did he really say that? Or you just the person who wrote the book said that?" Because that don't sound like something. "I like the way you transition the bass line. Next time we could go lower keys and we go higher keys." Like, yeah, that's a bet. I'm like,
I don't think that nigga know music that much.
I was like, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, we don't know music.
No, Jazz said
Jazz,
that.
super Jazz said in the fucking.
Yeah, I
was
was Jazz knew about all that shit. Yeah,
I'm sure you know all them words.
It's the way the conversation was. It was like, that don't sound right, man.
Well, yeah,
you had to stress that shit out for the book.
You didn't ban on nothing because everything Will was saying, I understood.
That night at Judy's, I showed up early. Your flow sits perfect, locked into that chic bass line, Jeff responded. Next time we'll use bounce, rock, skate, roll, and then transition into chic. Word.
But
that ain't bad. It ain't that bad. Like confusing.
Hold on, I'll play it again.
Funkiest, hottest party rocking shit these Philly kids had ever seen in their lives. That night was crazy. When the party was over, me and Jeff stood out in the driveway, catching our breath and cooling off. We were still hyped. "Yo, that truck turner echo thing you did was blaze," I said. "Your flow sits perfect, locked into that chic bass line, Jeff."
Shut up, bitch.
Next time we'll use bounce, rock, skate, roll, and then transition into chic. Word.
Shut up, bitch.
Word. Ideas poured out of us like a.
So, man, like I thought that was just, I don't know the way he said it, but it don't sound as bad now. I guess when I was listening to it earlier, it just sounded like, I don't think y'all said that, but so, they end up getting together. He started going to Jazz. Jazz was older than him, so Jazz was out of school. So when he got out of school, he would go there, do all that. And that's the same chapter he met JL too. So JL is gonna be his his manager till his day. JL is his manager. He is still his manager. Well, everybody's still together. Let me stop saying that. Everybody who be on the tour and stuff, the other niggas who was with the gun shit, but everybody's still together. So
Ready Rock 2?
I don't know.
Yeah, was Ready Rock the one who the Brooklyn?
That's the one that when they would call him they would call him on the stage and he.
He left. Yeah,
that's why I was saying at the beginning before Phil came on. That's why I was saying like because once he started doing that, because he started like
getting big.
Will and Jazz started getting a lot of more, and he wasn't getting the same exposure.
Yeah, he was on that bus with the gun going click, click, clack.
Yeah.
Ready Rock doing it.
Click. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's when his daddy said you could stop. Somebody told him. I think Daddy-O told him it was like you could stop a homicide, a homicide, but you can't stop suicide.
Yeah. So damn. So it was Ready Rock. So him and Ready Rock ain't cool no more.
Yeah, they ain't cool.
Him and Ready Rock ain't cool no more. Cause
but the one who's still cool is the one who had that surgery on his legs.
Mark.
He started doing the
Omar. I thought it was Omar.
Yeah, it was Omar.
Because that's the one that like he became the producer. He did
Summertime.
Summertime, and he did what he did for Jaden.
He did Rockin' Hair back and forth, no? For Willow, he did it.
No, man, for Jade, you had touched Jade that night in the bed.
I know, but he did another song that went. I think for Karate Kid or some shit, but it did successful.
Well, anyway.
Nah, I know what movie the soundtrack was, but I think it was for yeah, you're right, Karate Kid. It was Karate Kid.
Yeah. No, Justin Bieber and Justin Bieber, Never Say Never.
That's Karate Kid.
No, yeah, that's from Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith's version.
Yeah, Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm, yep, my bad. So yeah, in this chapter, that's when him and Jazz got together. They met JL. JL was in law school. They started getting bookings and shit. No, they ain't got the bookings yet. They ain't got the bookings till he went to that Masters. What's the name of the contest? The
DJ, whatever from.
He released the last word. Mother. The buzzer sounded and the crowd goes, I'm the bow-legged brother. There'll never be another. I bought a mansion for my mother. Jeff did a breakdown, cutting the last line into syllables.
Yeah.
Mansion for my. And then he held it, letting the clock run out. And at 29 seconds, right before the buzzer, he released the last word. Mother. The buzzer sounded and the crowd lost it. The judges were jumping up out of their seats and walking around with their hands on their heads. Jeff's scratches were so clean, sharp, and
I added that audience.
We know.
Well, yeah, this is the chapter about he got they had a dude named what's that nigga name?
Damian.
Dana.
The one who tried to. The one who wanted to kill him.
Nigga named Dana. He pulled up on him and he pulled up on Jazz and Will and he signed him a contract. They got signed to What's Up Records, but they didn't read their contract as every other young teenager.
Read your contract, people. Read your contracts.
They read your contract and they was getting agitated with him because they was like, man, my song, we're not hearing our song. He's like, man, they playing it, man. Y'all just not catching it. They playing the song, man. You're just not catching it. He was like, they was getting aggravated with it. And he decided after he left that concert, he's not going to college. And his mama was strict on college. So him and his mama had a debate. Like they fell out. Like, see, even when he graduated, she was like, oh, the diploma mine. But he said that the coolest thing his daddy ever did, his daddy waited a week. His daddy sat both of them down in the kitchen. His daddy said, look, he was like, we're going to do it like this. I'm going to give you a year. He said, if this rap shit don't work, he was like, you'll go to college. And he was like, but you only got a year. And he said, man, that's cool. That's all I need. And his mama was like, yep.
His mama didn't give a fuck about it.
His mama didn't care about rap. His mama, this nigga mama told him, there is no, I'm trying to explain it the best way. She didn't understand rap. So there's no career in rap. Just because she didn't understand it. That's why she didn't support the career of him rapping.
And it's so crazy when she called the dean to the college.
Yeah,
and
she called it.
And she told him what Will was gonna do. He was like,
"That's great.
That's cool. That's dope. Like, let him do it. Like, that's tight."
He's like, "Man, if his album doesn't do good, we'll hold the spot." But hey, man, trust me, he's never gonna get that type of experience here.
Hell no.
Hell, that was cool as shit. So he did. He was like, he's never gonna get that type of experience here. So man, let him go on. Let him do his rap career. But like he I don't know what happened that made him like go back to the ice shop and like get upset. What made him get upset? He
wasn't upset. He's like doing this normal shit, night shift.
But what made him think that his mom was right? What made him think that? I forgot.
Just thinking as a kid, you know.
Yeah, just like, man, this is not gonna work.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to make my mom wrong. I don't want to.
Couldn't shake the sense that I was failing her again. My Adidas finished playing and Power 99 went to a commercial break. I realized I had missed the end of the song. Damn, I thought. Not even my Adidas could pull me out of this one. I rolled the final cart into the freezer. I was done for the night. I counted the bags while commercials blared. New mattress sales. Everything must go. Maybe I could sell mattresses. I thought.
Rap doing mattress.
That shit can't be hard. I could do hip hop mattress raps. Get a good night rest, good sleep routines, got twins and fulls, got kings and queens. I threw the shovel on the side, closed the machines up.
And we're back tonight with a newcomer to the countdown.
Shutting off the lights, I realized I couldn't find my keys. I'd lost my keys a few times before, and Daddy-O had to come pick me up. I was dreading the thought of having to call him to come and get me. Here I am demanding my independence, about to have to call my daddy to pick me up because I can't find my damn keys.
The phones have been off the hook all day from y'all wanting to hear these guys. So get ready for our hometown boys, Philly's very own DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. This is Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble.
Listen, homeboys, don't mean to bust your bubble.
I totally froze.
The world ain't nothing but trouble. So next time a girl
my mouth
play,
was hanging.
What a fucking feeling.
Away. Just last week,
my heart was pounding. I wanted to scream. I wanted to jump, but at the same time, I didn't want to do anything to bump into the universe and knock my record off the radio. That was me on the radio. Me, my rhymes, my voice. I wanted to call people, but I didn't want to miss it. I ran outside. I wanted to grab somebody, to tell somebody, that's me, y'all. That's me on the radio. But it was 10 o'clock and nobody was out there. I started giggling, a knee-jerk reaction that I still have to this day when I find myself in extreme emotional circumstances. I could not stop laughing. It was a joyous, blissful laughter, the pure joy of a child waking up on Christmas morning, the joy of discovery, of renewed hope, of a new life, the joy of being right about me.
How deep is that, guys?
Bro, that shit made me tear up, caught chills. Like, that's that nigga, and that's that nigga. Like,
shit. Cause, man,
no, because of how that moment, like, think about it.
Yeah, think about it. Explain. You giving up somebody to tell you whatever you like doing, football. Somebody said, "Oh, but you could never play football again, you bum bitch. You trash." You might as well in the Saints call, you be like, "Blaine, let's tell you highlight tapes. I want you to play one game."
nigga, you be like, "Oh my god,
shit!" Nigga, we can get $3,000 just to catch the ball one year, but you could be happy.
And you play against your favorite team.
For real, you be like, "Fuck that! I am happy." It's like the best feeling in the fucking world, especially when you give it up and you're thinking like, maybe I need to stop playing football. This shit ain't go nowhere. Hey man, Sean Payton, we just one catch, one game. You can be happy as shit. That's like the best feeling in the world, especially when you give it up and you're thinking about giving up, and like what you thought was right. And like you said, everybody can give you their advice, but there's their advice.
And then you gotta think about it. A lot of people, when somebody tell them that they can't do it, they ain't gonna do it, and it's not gonna happen, they give up. Yep. So it's in his mind, he was like, "Damn, I might be like, listen to my mama and giving up. Like, this not gonna happen," and the shit happened.
Yep. This nigga, he really felt bad for his mama. He's like, man, he said, I went against my mama. He said, somebody's gonna get their heart broken. But he didn't put this. I know they're gonna be mine. So that nigga did what he wanted to do, and he was right. And it showed out, because look at his career. Because imagine if he would have said, you know what, I'm gonna go to college. There would be no Will Smith. There would be, we wouldn't be talking about this shit right now. We'd probably be talking about Jay-Z book or something. But that nigga followed his heart, believed in himself, and what he also explained is when people give you advice, he said it's not wrong or right, because his mama was right about what she was saying, but that was from her time period, and he was right about it what he was saying in his time period. So there is no wrong advice. It's just which way you want to go with it. And he stuck to his gut just like she stuck to her gut. And nobody was wrong, but he became victorious and successful. And look at him today just for sticking to what he believed in. And he did not give up. He disappointed his mama. And he never wanted to disappoint his mama, even though he felt he was a coward for not protecting her. He didn't want to disappoint her of something he did. And he stuck to his gut and he became successful. And look at Will Smith today. So that was a dope ass chapter. You feel me? Any questions? All right.
Who this book about?
All right, man. Chapter 6 was ignorance. Now, this chapter was about his girlfriend cheating on him. Him seeing the dude that she cheated on him with. Him starting to bang all kind of girls. This is a good ass chapter. Like, this chapter was real good. It started off with him going on tour, him getting on a tour, but that's when Charlie Mack came into the picture. Spoiler alert for Phil. Charlie Mack is his bodyguard. Charlie Mack is the dude at the beginning of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air spinning them around. That's his bodyguard.
Oh, for real?
Yep. That's his bodyguard. Yep. That's his bodyguard. That's his bodyguard till his day.
Oh yeah, and spoiler alert, Phil. Craig, not his name. What's his name? Charlie Mack.
Big Charlie Mack, man.
Yeah,
Big Charlie Mack.
Charlie Mack is the one who got Willow Smith pregnant.
This nigga. I swear to God.
That is not true. We apologize for that. Ignorant at the bottom of the screen. But Charlie Mack, his bodyguard, Charlie Mack is the one spinning.
Hey man, Charlie Mack gonna fuck you up.
Charlie
Who put my head in the toilet? Who put my head in the toilet?
You gonna put your head in the toilet?
This is Charlie
JL
Mack,
was
man.
21. He had been a witness to most of the major events of my life so far, but already played a key role in the naming of the Fresh Prince because of Pythagoras. Ready Rock, every time we would have to leave Philly, he saw Charles Alston, AKA Charlie Mack. Charlie Mack was raised in South Philly. He showed up that day with a green trash bag full of ones and fives. Clearly the previous evening's revenues from his purveying of neighborhood pharmaceuticals. He had the trash bag slung over his shoulder like a ghetto-ass Santa Claus. Charlie, you cannot walk around carrying a hefty bag full of cash, JL said. What you mean? What you mean? What you saying? I'm not going nowhere without my money, Charlie grumbled. Charlie's voice is way too deep and he speaks way too fast to be nearly 7 feet tall. And when he gets excited, he has no problem saying the same word or phrase as many times as necessary until you submit.
What you mean?
My man. And again. Hold up. This will stop.
Charlie Mack, that nigga funny, man. Even though we'll probably overdo it, that shit funny. Well, Charlie Mack was his bodyguard, still his bodyguard today. That's when he went on tour with Public Enemy and
Uncle Luke. Man, that was a live concert, man. When you saying that, like, he had Public Enemy, there was hanging white people, and then Uncle Luke getting head on the stage. I was like, oh my gosh,
I was like, they was doing that shit this. For real? I was like,
yeah, you didn't hear because he said when he was like, when they was talking to the cops, he was like, well, Uncle Luke's gonna have his genitals out.
That's what he wanted to say.
He wanted to say, but that's what that was happening.
That nigga said sometimes they portray fellatio and sometimes they really did it. I was like,
Uncle Luke was nasty, so I only could imagine they didn't care back then.
They say he wanted to do that, like he wanted that because that made like publicity when he went to Baton Rouge and Shreveport.
Yeah, he wanted to get arrested and all of this shit.
Yep, he wanted to get arrested, but Will was like, I'm not like that at all. I'm a good guy, but that nigga was so in love with his girlfriend that the niggas had some groupies in the room with some bamboo earrings and high shirts, and he said it smelled like a merry-go-round. It smelled like something in the room.
Yeah, he said that. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Nigga said it smelled like a merry-go-round. I did what? He said he asked the girls to leave. He was like, look, I'm in love with, I forgot her name. He was like, he said, I don't want no girls. Melanie? I don't know what's the girlfriend name. Was Melanie?
I don't know. It started with him.
Yeah, whatever her name was. That nigga told everybody he didn't want no groupies in the room. He didn't want no girls. Nothing. You know, I think Red Rock said, so how we go fuck the group is this?
Oh man, that was Charlie, man.
Yeah, Charlie makes it.
Charlie makes how we go fuck the group. I thought that was
Yeah, he
that.
said, so
But somebody said something after that.
we supposed to fuck the group.
I think Jazz said something.
No, Jazz said, come on, man. What you talking
In their
like that for?
tracks. The timbre and speed of repetition are barely comprehensible. We promised we would. Without twists and turns and into the infinitely unknowable.
Shut up.
Just remember, lover boy, she said,
That's what she said.
be nice to everybody you pass on your way up, because you just might have to pass them again on your way down.
That's what Gigi
Real shit.
That's what Gigi said. I've been heard that term before, but that's what Gigi told
Real shit.
Will before he got on that bus. And that was a good ass line. But yeah, nigga didn't want nobody bringing girls around him, didn't want no girls around him, didn't want nobody messing with girls. And like they was like, nigga, we single. It's like, why we gotta suffer for you being in a relationship? Like we gotta fuck bitches. So that was like being.
We arrived in Tallahassee on the first leg of our southern run. The rest of the guys would go to the venue early to set up and sound check. And because all I had to do was rap, I could arrive 45 minutes before showtime. On that first night, I walked into the dressing room.
Go party?
Whole squad sitting around with 6 or 7 girls, Jordache jeans and bamboo earrings everywhere. The dressing room smelled like the perfume section of a merry-go-round. I politely asked Keisha, Mercedes, and Cinnamon and them to leave, and I called a crew meeting. We got to get these rules straight, I said. I don't want no girls in the dressing rooms, no girls on the bus, and whatever floor we stand on in the hotel, I don't want no girls there either. I don't want to be smelling no perfume and hearing no giggling and shit. I'm in love with Melanie. Really? We're in a relationship, and I'm not out here for no foolishness. The guys all kind of looked at one another as if to say, he can't be serious. Ready Rock raised his hand, and I pointed to him. What, man? Ready Rock, somewhat confused, said, so where are we supposed to fuck all the groupies at?
I told y'all.
Hopefully you'll be fucking them behind that preposition, I said. Will, this crazy, man, Charlie said. You're not out here by yourself. This is all of us. How you making lateral decisions? Look, man, I'm about to propose to this girl. We're getting married, and I am not messing it up because of a bunch of horny-ass ghetto hyenas. Big bro, I respect that you're in love and all that, Omar said, but that don't make me no hyena. I was going full choir boy, and the guys didn't like it at all. But when my mind locks onto an idea, when I commit to a system of beliefs, there are only 2 options. 1, I complete my mission. Or 2, I'm dead.
Yep. And he got that from his daddy in the previous chapter when he told him to go get some cigarettes. He said, you go complete your mission or you're dead. So, Will was being faithful, to Melanie. He came back home, like, I think he had a feeling. He just came back home one tour.
For what? That bitch cheated.
He came back home and like he said everything was normal, but he just had a sense in his head. He was like, he felt a buzzer go off. And like and he leave it, and like she was being normal. Like she gave him a kiss, and she was like, yeah, baby. He's like, so you fucking try to play me? You fucking think I didn't know? You fucking think I didn't know? What is tell me? And listen, Will said this. He just said this randomly, just to say it. He just had a feeling. He didn't have no proof or nothing. Like she ain't sent no signs, but he just had a feeling. And she bust out crying and said, I'm sorry. It only happened once. You was on tour and it just happened. And he said, what? He said, you really did cheat? And he was so fucked up, he didn't know how to feel about it. He was like, should I be mad? Should I attack her? Should I hit her with something? But deep down inside, he cared, but he didn't have the feeling to like, he wasn't upset. It was kind of confusing. I didn't understand what he was saying, but he was like, he was mad, but he didn't have the aggression. But he said he knew he had to do something because the way he seen his daddy react, he knew he had to like hit something or break something or do something to her, but he didn't. So he grabbed this shit you use for the fireplace and he went outside and he broke all the glasses off some type of thing. And like he went home, he told his mom, he started crying and shit. And he said after that, he just started fucking all kind of bitches. That nigga went on a fucking spree. That nigga said he was fucking. That nigga said he was fucking so much. Every time he was about to have an orgasm, he felt like he wanted to throw up. I was like, damn, bro, what kind of fucking you doing? That's some sick pussy you fucking. Like I was about to be like, throw up in that girl. Oh my God. Do it again. But Will was like, man, he's a one-woman man. He was like, I never did like having multiple women. So he went back to like, he's like, he had got a house. That nigga got a nice ass fucking house. He had a pool. He had a jacuzzi in his bedroom. He had like 6 cars. That nigga had some fucking money, bro. Like that nigga was making a lot of money just from that fucking tour and like sales and shit. And he had told Charlie Mack, he was like, man, I want to get Melanie back. So he said he knew she worked in the mall at this little carousel thing. I don't know the fuck he's working. But he said he had it all planned out, and he's like, I'm gonna go up to her. He said, I'm gonna talk to her. He said, I'm gonna tell her about the house I got. He said she could come in my arms. We're gonna live happily ever after. I'm gonna tell her I'm gonna marry and all kind of shit. And Charlie was like, hey man, my man, hurry up, man. I ain't got no license. I can't be parked right here. So he said, all right, man, I'm gonna be quick. Went in the store. He was like, she didn't see him at first. Then she turned around. She's like, hey. Then he had that bzzz, bzzz. He had that feeling again. He was like, bzzz, bzzz. He was like, whoa. Then like she looked at him, but she gave him like a hey. And like she looked away. He was like, bzzz. Then he looked to the side.
Get that nigga ass up, light skin ass nigga.
Because at the beginning of the chapter, he says this. He said he was light skinned with green eyes. He said, I hate dudes like that. I hate these Charlie Williams, El DeBarge looking motherfuckers. He said, I hate dudes like that. But that's the type of dude she cheated on him with. And he beat the shit out of that dude in that fucking store. He beat the shit out of this dude. Charlie Mack had to get him out. And he took her and his girl. But like he said, even though he was back with her, he said the relationship wasn't good. He was like, he just felt like he had to, what he said if the girl wasn't happy or if the girl cheated on him, he wasn't doing right as a man. That's how he felt. He felt like if anything bad happened, it was his fault. So he tried to do whatever he could to make it right, even though it wasn't his fault, but he just felt like that.
I felt like that when the first 2-3 chicks cheated on me, and I was like, that's them dirty bitch. So if a guy sit there with you, like, well, bitch, I did the same thing too. Oh.
But we'll explain that to in the book too. He's like, spoiler alert. He's like, this is not the way to keep a successful relationship. Do not do this. He's like, do not ever do this. It will not be healthy. Because even though he took her back for cheating on him and he was being faithful, he always had that animosity towards her. And he like still kind of talked to her in a kind of way and still kind of like had this type of ugly attitude towards her. But he made it seem like, oh, you should be lucky you in this big ass house. He made it seem like that because he got money. He said, but that's not right. He shouldn't have did that. But he felt like even though they was together, she couldn't tell him shit. Even though he got her back, it's like, you better be happy you here. Like, shut the fuck up. Because like he said, he was having a party at his house. He was like, Willard, it's kind of loud. It's Wednesday. He was like, man, look, man, we're going to be all right. We'll be done in like 3 hours. Just go upstairs. You in a big ass.
No, he ain't said like that. You ain't said like that. He said, no problem, babe. Just give us about an hour, okay? He said it nicely.
Hey, but he did. But what else he said? He said, hey, you should be lucky you in this big ass
Yeah,
house.
he ain't tell it to huddle.
But he said that though.
Yeah.
You should be lucky you in this big ass house. But all in all, like, I think he started getting in trouble with he started having money problems, I think. And he got like, he owed the IRS like $2.3 million. And like he had to pay that back, and he had tried to do another album. It didn't do good. And him and Jazz went to the Bahamas and they fucked off a studio session.
No.
What, nigga?
You moving too fast.
No, nigga, that's all in this chapter, nigga. That's all in this chapter. That's all in this chapter.
Oh.
Like he fucked it up. He fucked up the money. he had to get rid of all his shit, the pool table, everything. And him and Charlie Mack was playing pool, and like he was like, I was betting $100 I didn't even have. And that girl came downstairs, said she was looking good as hell. She had like a dress on, her breast was out. She had some bamboo earrings on. She had heels on. He was like, where you going?
Everything that he bought.
Everything that he bought. He was like, where you going? She's like, out.
Hey, long story short, Phil, he killed her.
Oh man, he didn't do that.
Will got away with murder.
He tried to reach out to. He still try to reach out to Dave.
He never killed her. Like he told her not to go. He told her don't leave. He said she's not going nowhere. She said bye. She left. She went, took a cab, and she left. Everybody left the house, and Will was already going through some shit. He was like fucked up because he's losing all his money and stuff. He said he took all her clothes, all her perfume, everything. And when she pulled up in the cab, yeah, lighter fluid all over it. He lit a match and he burned it. Right when she got out the cab. And he didn't explain what happened next. He just said
he reached out to her ass.
He said this for he said Melody did not deserve what happened that night. He was like, I reached out to her, she would not respond, I'm calling back. He was like, I apologize. We thought real soon will beat the fuck out of her.
Not me.
That's what I thought. I said,
that's what I thought. Because that nigga still got some of his daddy in him. So
yeah, I said Will had to beat the shit out of that girl. That's how I felt. Because like you burn that, you think the girl just gonna look at him and be like, I can't believe you did this, Willard. And then she come from a broken family. That girl fought that nigga. We'll probably put her face in the fire.
Listen, I had a girl that attacked me because I kicked the shit out of her car. So imagine if somebody burned all your shit.
Yep. So Will, he apologized at the end of the book. He tried to reach out to her, but that nigga, I don't know. We don't know what he did or what happened, but he said after he lit that, he just said she did not deserve what happened. And then I was like, damn, Will, you are your daddy.
He got some daddy in him though, for real though, real shit.
Yeah, man. So
the work ethic.
Oh yeah, he got the work ethic. But
man, listen, bro.
That nigga kids in the background. See, Daddy O wasn't having that. Daddy O would have.
See, now if I tap into my inner Daddy O, I would y'all just hear sirens and shit.
I was thinking about that. She said, what if I turn to that nigga?
Real shit. You gotta think about it like everything else. Like you listen to this, you read this book, you listen to this book, and you hear like they have like he left a lot of gems, but it just when you like certain shit like with the daddy or shit, you just think about that shit like everybody got a daddy in them. It might not be a daddy but it's you have a that man in you like if I beat this motherfucker.
No, it's like but just what he said the previous chapter is like in the black community they instill fear into your kids with their parents to let them know the real world is worse. So like what they doing, they're preparing you for the real world because everything not gonna go your way. He said that's why in the black communities they instill strict discipline and fear in their kids so they won't be scared of nobody else. So they put that fear.
So I say like with the whole John and calling your kids fat and all this
kind of shit. Yeah.
And so whenever you get into school, when you got these rulers ass kids and they trying to giant you and shit, like bitch, my daddy used to call me that when I was 3 years old.
Yeah, for real. Like, they can take it. They can take it and they can clap back. So that's kind of I understood that. So it's like shit. But man, yeah, man. That was chapter 6. But we're gonna stop it at chapter 6 because we got another podcast. We gotta do it in about 30 minutes.
Hell yeah.
So
you're good. You're good. You're safe,
do it. You're safe.
You're safe.
You got 2 chapters ahead. You're 2 chapters ahead.
But I'm gonna tell you this: like when you're reading the book, it's gonna be a lot of shit. Like when it come down to his kids, he break a lot of down, like a lot of shit. He break it down. Like we all, what's up, we all have kids, so that's like it's touchy. But you can understand because one day you gonna have kids if you want to have kids. But you gonna understand like that shit deep, bro.
Yeah. Like he break down like the best summary of the book. Like I said at the beginning, just. He learned a lot about himself. He went to therapy. He when he acted, he really felt deep into his roles. He fell in love with his co-stars. He was mean to his first wife. He wasn't perfect. He thought he thought everything what he did was based on his career, so nobody should complain. Y'all gotta listen to him. I'm Will Smith. He made a lot of fucking money. A lot of fucking money. A lot of fucking money. Like the chapter I was just telling you about, I thought he was rich then. That nigga got
Will billionaire, and I think the world not even like acknowledging it. But I think he a billionaire on the cool.
Like more than a billionaire. That nigga damn near a trillionaire. So it's like real good book, man. But like I said, I suggest you get the audio book, bro, to get the full experience. You're gonna enjoy it, and you can get done with it quicker. Especially if you like chilling around the house, you got your headphones on, listening to it. You'll get a broader look on life, a better understanding on life, and you're young, so it can prepare you for your future career in acting. Because and like he breaks down the good, the bad, the ugly with movies. Because the children had to face some bullshit because of him. Just for him putting his kids in movies. They like talked about Jaden. Willow didn't like a lot of him and Jada. Jada called him egotistical. Just because he had a lot of money, he would do shit that she didn't like. And like it wouldn't like he felt like he was doing something nice for her, but she looked at it like, oh, you just being big-headed. And like he didn't understand that. So like that's
you
how
talking about the party? You talking about the party thing?
Yeah, when he that shit. And like, but I'm sure it was more to it than that.
And listen, I'm gonna say this, dog. Listen to me clearly. What age Willow did that song?
10.
8. Listen, 10, 8, whatever the fuck age she was. Nigga, she listened to Ethan and she said, nigga, fuck JC in real life, nigga. When I hear you tell me that, she said, fuck Jay-Z, nigga. So just let you know, nigga, them children very smart. Willow and Jaden is very smart. They know.
Yep, very smart.
But bro, listen, that's a
very
great
smart. And they have sex with each other.
Oh,
that's true. That's not a lie. That's true.
Anyway,
we're not gonna acknowledge that.
Yeah, we ain't gonna acknowledge none of that, man. Will, you had a great book, man. Very inspiring, very inspirational. Philip, man, like I said, get the audio book, bro. Jam that bitch. And like,
matter of fact, you even gotta buy it. Just get a free trial.
A free trial on audio, audible.com, and go through the free trial.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna listen to it too. Cause I had to buy the hard book, man. Like, cause you know, like, cause I ain't really read like a book in a minute other than like the Meisner book on acting. So like this and the Meisner book on acting are the two books I've read this year. But before this year, man, I hadn't read a book in like 2-3 years, man. You know, so yeah, it's dope.
I can't tell you last time I read a book. So like with Will putting this side, this is dope. Like this is fucking dope. So thank you, Will.
That dope word.
Hey man, it's dope, man. Oh man, let me say it is. It was fresh. It was fresh.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, Philip, man, bro, appreciate you for coming to this book tour.
Real man, fuck everybody else, man. Philip came.
Yeah, man, appreciate you, Philip, bro. You're real.
No problem, y'all. I appreciate y'all having me on. You know, being able to talk about it with y'all. But yeah, you know, more to come, man. I hope to work with y'all again, do podcasts. I don't care like anything. Like y'all fun as hell for real.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man. Cool, man.
All right, y'all. But y'all have a good one, though.
You too, man.